I hated that guy.
We're not going to mention who it is, but
we've gotten a lot of requests for people for real life stories, past experiences, and that kind of thing.
Fun enough, in our kitchen, we noticed that there was just like coffee ground looking stuff in the sink. We weren't sure what was going on. Yeah,
How did you find your contractors?
That's a great question.
All right, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of MillenniUP. We are not in Seth's kitchen.
Nope.
We are in
Nicer kitchen.
Ooh,
a newer kitchen.
Thank you.
newer kitchen.
No, so this is our very first client interview. So
MillenniUP goes on the road.
yeah,
It's true.
yeah. So wasn't that hard either. We got set up pretty well.
Yeah.
The idea here, obviously, outside of being absolute expert podcasters at this point, Jen, we actually do real estate activities and we have clients, and so we've gotten a lot of requests for people for real life stories, past experiences, and that kind of thing, and that's where you guys come in. So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourself?
Who you are?
Start at the beginning. Tell us everything.
Everything. Sam, I'll let you start.
All right. Well, I'm Sam.
I'm Brian.
Hi, Sam.
Hi.
How'd you guys meet?
Okay.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So we met through friends. I was actually in cosmetology school and I befriended someone and she was dating a guy and I went out with them like a threesome and then he got called up.
What, out of the bullpen?
No, so it basically was my buddy Nick and Steve. Steve was dating a girl, and that girl had Sam. They were going to set her up with Nick.
Yeah.
On this date, double date, and then all of a sudden Nick just called me. He's like, "Yo, we're going bowling. You want to go?" So now I'm the fifth wheel. I'm like, "Sure, yeah, I'll go." So we meet at his house, and I had my lowered Civic with body kit on it, super cool looking. Sam was super into cars, and she was in a pit crew at the time. So I was like, "Oh, you want to, ride in my car? You can," because Steve had like a 2-seater and barely fit someone in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nick just shoved in the back of his car, and then Sam went with me. Talked on the way over to the bowling alley about cars. I pretended like I knew something about the engines, even though I had no
You did
idea.
not.
And she's like, "Wow, this
Nice
guy's
work.
pretty
Nice work, sir."
Yeah, like you definitely have to lie up front
And
for
you didn't
sure.
pick up
Yeah.
on any of that.
No, he was actually,
You can BS your way through.
Yeah.
When you're in sales, you have to. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You're not.
I'm sure I talked
But-
most of the time.
But then the other thing I lied to her about was when we were done bowling.
Look at this.
What a great
Look at this. A
foundation.
relationship found on dishonesty. That it was just the
the
foundation.
best ones.
The foundation was laid early.
But no, at the end of bowling, Nick's like, "So what do you guys want to do? You want to go to the arcade, play some video games?" And Sam goes, "Video games are for losers."
You're like, wow.
And I was like,
hate
"Yeah,
video
Nick.
games."
Yeah.
Video games are for losers."
Are video games for losers?
No.
No, I was
They're
I was
not.
so mean. I was
Yeah.
young and mean.
Yeah.
And you were trying to impress
And
her.
later that
Yeah.
night, I was playing Call of Duty with Nick.
We should. we should.
Yeah,
We should.
video
we should
games
ask,
are so lame.
Yeah.
we should ask our audience whether they think video games are lame. I haven't played like an actual video game outside of like with my kids, and like I've never played like an adult video game.
No.
How old were you guys when you guys met? When did this happen?
I was 17.
And I was 19 or 20, something
Oh,
like that.
jeez.
So you guys have been together for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be
15.
10 years married in June, and
Yeah.
then
It's like
dating
14 or
since-
15
Got it.
together.
You
Yeah.
guys are ancient
Yeah.
in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Cute.
And then outside of that, we had a kid.
Yeah. Bought a couple houses, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you do for a living?
I'm a health insurance broker. She's one of my clients. Not to brag.
Not to brag.
I'm one of my own clients as well.
So when you've heard me
Also
say
not
I'm
brag.
unmedicated now,
It's all my fault.
It's all Brian's fault.
Because I draw up the formularies and I kick off things. So that's perfect. Yeah.
Formularies is a word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like actuaries, but formularies.
Well, formulary, it's a formulary of drugs that are covered. But when there's multiple, it's formularies.
Huh.
It's not people.
I didn't know formulary was a word.
Yeah.
I'm going to archive that.
Okay.
Save it for cocktail parties, that fun stuff.
There you go.
But yes, would be underinsured without Brian. So thanks,
Yes,
Brian.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, well, listen, I want to talk, this is a real estate podcast.
It is?
It is.
Oh my God. I've been in the wrong place this whole time.
No, it's good. No, it's good, man. And I'm excited to interview you guys. You guys are sitting in a kitchen of a house that we helped you find.
Yes.
and the kitchen is very nice. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about where your real estate journey started, including the condo?
Yeah.
The condo that you had so much disdain for.
Condo.
Yeah.
So how'd you guys find that property, and how long did you live there? And then we can talk a little bit about how you got to here.
So we lived, when we first got married, we lived in an apartment, and which was, fine. But we wanted to get something of our own. And our friend Nick, ironically from
Who's this
how
guy,
we met.
Nick?
I don't know.
he's
Apparently, he likes video games.
Video game playing, condo
Can't fit people in
recommending.
his car.
Yeah.
So Nick actually lived in this condo community,
Okay.
and we really liked his condo. And so we were like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we were neighbors? So we bought a place there.
And how old were you when you guys bought the condo?
25-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 25, 20, 22 and 25.
So 2018, 2019?
It was 2016,
Okay.
I think it was.
2016. Okay.
15 or 16, I think it was.
I'm not-
Because we were in that place for about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the experience there. Like it, hate it?
So
Oh, God. Well,
Pros and cons of condos.
yeah, there's definitely pros and there's cons, but we had more cons towards the end for obvious reasons.
yeah, I think
A story I've heard a million times too, which I can't wait till we get to that for why you decided to move out. But yes, what were you saying?
yeah. So I think being young and not really knowing much, we thought HOA, that's great. Like, they take care of
everything.
the trash, they mow, all this stuff. And we just have to take care of the inside. No big deal. Yeah, so that did not go so great.
No? How so? Tell us.
Would you like me
Um,
to dive into all of our fun issues?
Yeah, go ahead.
She sounds a
So-
little triggered on them.
She is, yeah. So, well, let's see. We move in, maybe a month later. All of a sudden, just we're hearing I'm not sure what it is. We were on, now just to paint you a quick picture. We were on the lower unit of this. It was basically like a long building with 16.
Up and down condo.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know what style that was, but so yeah, you had people on top, people on the bottom. We were on the bottom. Our bedrooms were kind of like underneath the ground a little bit, so you had windows, but you majority was underground. And yeah, in the bathroom, we were just like, what is that sound like? And it's like, who do
This
you
is
call?
not first.
It's like, who do you call? You don't have like a landlord
Because you just
have
come
to-
from renting too.
right? So like we didn't really know exactly what was going on.
The kitchen was first.
Oh, was the kitchen first?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you could talk about the kitchen if you want.
So
Or
what
I
are we
can-
talking about? Are we talking about like gremlins, leaks? Like what's
All right,
the
so
story?
Water.
Okay.
All of our issues are water issues.
Okay,
Put
water
that
issues.
in there.
So- Well, I'll finish with the bathroom first. So yeah, it sprung a leak in some kind of supply line. Ended up having to call the HOA. We knew one person on it, and then they got us with the property manager. Sent a guy out. They had to rip out the ceiling because it was starting to sag. Like it was a big deal. So that was one water issue, not the first. But fun enough, in our kitchen, we noticed that there was just like after the nighttime we would come in, there was like these like coffee ground looking stuff in the sink, and we weren't sure what was going on. And then like another day or two went by, and then we're just hearing this gurgling.
Oh, nice.
Turns out someone put, what was it, a diaper or a rag down the sink that was upstairs, and it backed up into ours because we had, I don't know what you call it, but there's like a ventilation little, like a vent for your
that was never
your kitchen
capped.
sink that didn't have the cap or like the backstop on it to keep it from overflowing. So that was also backing up and just soaking into the bottom of our cabinet.
Oh, the
And
whole floor was
entire floor
soaked.
underneath of it was just nasty.
So you had some water issues.
Yep.
Water
yep.
issues there.
So you did you file any insurance claims?
We
Yeah.
did, and we had to get the whole kitchen redone, gutted, and
Insurance companies
done
did
in
not
there.
like us in that house.
no.
Still affecting us till this day, actually.
So
Your insurance rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it does travel. A lot of people don't realize
It's like
it
5
can
or 6
travel.
years, right?
It can travel from property to property.
Yeah.
So it travels
We
with the
didn't realize
owner.
that.
You can travel because potentially, the insurance company looks
Yeah.
at it. It's like maybe they're doing something that's like they don't take care of things. They're
Right.
riskier behavior,
Or
that
they're
type of
just
thing.
really picky. Like, oh yeah, this happened. Now I want to file a claim.
Yeah.
But the other water issue was beautiful because
It was beautiful.
well, it was when we had another small one in Jack's room, right?
Yeah, wasn't there one
Bathroom.
about the-
So
about the
both
window?
bathrooms.
We'll get to that one.
That was the last one.
Okay.
That pushed
How
us
many
over
total?
the edge. 4.
5. If you think about it, the bathroom, the kitchen, Jack's room, the small one, our room, and then right before we left.
Okay, so
Are
we're
there
not.
any other rooms?
Yeah, I'm
We-
pretty
Oh.
almost every room.
we might need to know the name of this development so we can or refresher on this development
Did
so we
Nick
can not
have
put
any
people into it.
problems?
No, he was the top unit owner.
Yeah, no.
Which, by the way, if you're gonna buy one
he
of those,
did have
He ignored
someone.
it, though.
The roof was leaking and it was traveling, and they couldn't find it. And Nick never looked into it.
Okay.
He like
He's
asked
kinda
about
like-
it.
ignorance is bliss.
Does he
type
still
of
live
thing.
there?
Yeah.
No.
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 Yeah. No.
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 Okay, so you had lots of water problems.
Yeah.
And so what did you guys want to so when did you actually decide to move?
Well, shortly after having the big water issue, we had Jack's birthday party.
Yep.
And there was just not enough room.
Yeah.
So many
Toys
toys
everywhere.
Story.
Yeah.
We tell it all the time. And mind you, people, I did not know Brian and Sam until before I got right before I got licensed. So the story but somehow I still know very, very in detail as to what their final straw was that got them to move, because Seth has said it at every opportunity possible.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because it's a common issue.
It is.
Very common issue.
Yeah.
And I think I interviewed you guys. I had a bunch of questions for you about a year and a half ago, and I didn't know that until then though.
Yeah,
I didn't know that until the end of 2022, but you had already moved.
So
Yeah.
what was the final straw?
It was the toys. I think it
There's
was
just
the
no room
toys.
for all the shit.
There's
And
just
then there was-
no room for anything. There's no storage in condos.
Yeah, I mean, we had
Like-
a few closets that you could shove crap into, but like the third bedroom that we had was just overflow for junk.
And it was his office. So
Yeah.
it was his office with a bunch of stuff
Yeah,
in it.
I had like a little spot where I can like get in there and sit at my desk.
Got it. So what year was that? Was that 2020?
Yeah, that was like we made that decision right around his birthday in June.
Like literally right after.
So we met really in like the beginning of COVID.
Yeah,
Yes.
we met like that October before, I think it was.
Okay.
In 19, I think is when you joined the group.
Yeah.
Oh, that you joined the group.
The
but
group.
For
I joined
him
in
helping
2019.
us.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
hated me.
Yeah. No,
You didn't vote for me.
yeah, there was a couple realtors in our networking group that were auditioning, if
Yeah.
you will. And
Well, let's
I
break
thought,
down the networking group so people actually
Oh, yeah.
understand how this works. So, Brian and Seth are in a networking group, and the way that it works is it's a bunch of different types of vendors, but you get to have one vendor per category, so that it's a whole referral network.
It's like a BNI without the bullshit. It's an industry exclusive, one at a time.
Yeah, it's a
networking
referral
group.
based network.
So you
Referral.
can't have more than one realtor in it. So you have one specific realtor, you have one specific insurance broker.
And how many people auditioned that for? 5, 6?
I want to
Five,
say it
six?
was like 4 or 5.
4 or
something like
5,
that, yeah.
and you hated me.
Yeah, I picked someone else because
Why did you hate Seth?
Seth was just talking about numbers the whole time, and yeah, look at me, I'm so great, and this. that, and the
Everybody
other.
did.
No, there was,
Everybody did.
I picked the person that did not focus as much on the numbers, but
Did you also pick the person? Or you didn't pick the person who mentioned that he had started 2 networking groups and understand how networking works? Because I'm pretty sure I said that too. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think
we talking about
it's
the same
worked out a
person?
little bit for you too, huh?
hold on.
I think it's all worked out, huh?
Because
When
that
you
couple
talk
years
about
Excuse me,
who I
ladies.
think
Why don't you
you're
go
talking
grab a cup of coffee? Let's talk.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Starbucks.
But yeah, no, but
Yeah, so no, that's good. So then it was right after COVID hit, and then you guys called me like 3 months later. Did you guys interview anyone else before?
yeah,
We
one
did.
person.
Yeah. I hated that guy.
Okay.
We're not going to
Why?
mention who it is, but
Well, no,
that's
we don't
Yeah.
have to.
I don't
Yeah.
think
Why
we,
did
I
you?
don't, we're not going to.
The selection process of an agent is also
Yeah,
really
that's
important.
actually something I'm
So,
interested
yeah.
in talking to everybody about. Is like, how did you guys actually? What were you guys looking for in a real estate agent? What were the criteria you were super interested in? Like, tell us about that process.
and
And don't give me so much adulations that my head doesn't fit. That's what you always say. My head won't fit through the door.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do a little bit
I
of it, but
think-
not a ton.
I think it's important for the realtor to really listen to what you want. Like when I spoke with you, it was like I told you what I wanted, and you're like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
The other realtor was like, I know better than you. And I didn't like that. He was very much on, we need to sell your condo first, then look at houses. And I said, no, I'm not worried about my condo. It'll sell.
Yeah.
I'm worried about looking at my forever home.
Mm-hmm.
That is my goal.
Okay.
Let's, and when I told you that, it was like, yeah, I agree. Condo will sell.
Yeah.
We need to look at focus on what you guys want for your house.
Yeah. Okay. And did you guys care about like the company that anyone worked for or anything?
Not
like
really,
that?
no.
Well, I will say one thing. One of the guy that we did interview with was part of one company.
Yeah.
But like, just I knew him, but he was just going by the book, just reading through his presentation, and I hated that.
Oh, yes, the folder and
yeah, it was
papers.
a folder and all that stuff, and it was way too much.
Yeah, I
and I'm
didn't
just
like that.
Can we
Yeah,
just
I
talk?
about presentations.
Yeah, and it was very
I'm the
much
same
like
way.
we need to do this.
I shouldn't say this. I haven't given like a listing presentation like that since I left Berkshire Hathaway in 2019. And it's like, people don't want to be presented to like
no,
that.
I want a real person.
Yeah.
You just want to have a
And-
conversation.
I think I just walked in with one of my little notebooks and I sat down. I think you guys toured me and I sat down and I just listened to what you guys wanted. And I said, okay, well, we'll just figure out how to make that work.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
You're a
that
real
was-
person.
That was good because it was just more of a conversational type of thing. You understood it and just kind of gathered that info.
Yeah.
Your glass was half empty in a good way.
Yeah.
Or what were we talking about in our networking group last week? Keep your glass, or there's more value in the empty part of the glass than there is in the
Oh, I don't think
filled
that was
part.
me.
Were you not there last week? Anyway,
I was. I don't
yeah.
know.
But we were basically
I
talking
say a lot
about
in
how
that
when
group.
you
I
do
say a
have
ton in that group though.
He's really just like half asleep.
I
I
have to fill the void in that group a lot when like I have to pick up the conversation. You do a good job of that too, but
Yeah. No, they were just talking about that most valuable part of the listening and the conversation.
Oh no,
is
no,
that
no!
empty piece.
It's not the empty piece. No, you use your ears and your mouth in the proportion they were given to you. You listen twice as much as you talk.
That's not what we were talking about, but that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
but that
too.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Continue.
No, but it's super. It's definitely true. I mean, the old school sales. David Knox, Floyd Wickman, or who are these old real estate salespeople. They all taught like you go in, you show your value. You essentially go in with all this like glossy material, and you show how professional you are. Even if your mom wants to sell their house, you go in and you give that presentation. And like I joined Berkshire Hathaway in 2015, and it was like that was how I was kind of taught. And great company, and I think it really had to do with the people I was like kind of connected with. But I started going into these meetings, and like people were checking their phones, and I was like only halfway through, and I was like, okay, like listen, guys, like let's try to get through this. And I think, to be honest with you, I think my big like kind of eureka moment was when I went in and I was like it was just a come list me call, meaning like just come in over. I want to get it sold like tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I went in, I didn't have anything, and I just sat there and talked to them, and like it ended up working out so much better because I had nothing to give them. So I was like, okay. And then I've never done a listing presentation since, like a real, like with the binder and like sliding all the glossy material over, because that's not what people really care about.
No.
At most, I'll have like some of the docs like in a folder in my bag.
Yeah,
if
that kind
like
of
somebody's
stuff.
like really interested in having it right then, and they're like, "Well, do I have to like sign anything?" I'm like, "I mean, I have it. I'd rather you know what you're signing. So if you want to look it over when you're bored and can't sleep at like 10 o'clock at night, go ahead.
Yeah.
But
Right.
otherwise, like we're just here to gather information. And
Right.
Yeah, so I call it
Yeah.
the two-step approach. So I come over, fact find, look at the property. Like I think realtors run into the problem because they go to the property, they've never seen it before, and they go in with comps, and then they have to like adjust it on the fly.
Yeah.
The one thing that was nice about Berkshire Hathaway is that they did teach you this, which was like go in, fact find, listen to what they want, and then you can come back and show comps and all your value.
Yeah.
But even then, I still usually just don't even do that because I try to draw as much conversation where there's enough trust where I don't have to like come back and show you like all my stats and
Right.
like I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever told like any of my clients like how much volume I do or
just
anything
in your
like that.
networking group, apparently.
Yeah.
When
To
it did.
get the spot, sure.
Yeah.
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 I mean, what else you want me to talk about?
I don't know.
Phillies?
I don't know.
All right. So we got you guys set up. We were able to cater to your situation.
Yeah.
And then were you guys like nervous about buying a house? Were you guys
I was.
stressed?
Or
He
were you
was,
excited
I
to
was.
get out.
Yeah.
I was excited. And we were like, let's just go look. Well,
Mm-hmm.
not me. He said, let's go look. And I was like, we're buying something.
Oh,
Seems to happen often.
Yeah.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about that later.
Yeah. That's okay.
But yeah, so we were just looking
Mm-hmm.
and spent the whole day looking until we came here.
We only went out once.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day.
Most efficient clients.
No, I will
I
say
mean-
it doesn't. It's not that uncommon. I mean, people because the thing is, you get between Zillow and all the time you spend before you even talk to a realtor, and then if you have a good realtor, like between those two buckets, like you can get really clear on what you want.
So then were you okay? Because there are people who will not pull the trigger to put in an offer because it's their first day out seeing houses and it's the first time they've seen them. Did you have any nerves about like or second guessing of?
No.
But this was our first day out.
No,
Should
not
we-
at all. When we go ahead.
I was going to say, when we were buying, like it was COVID and we kind of already knew that the market was pretty hot and we were, going to be possibly bidding on things above asking or whatever. And it wasn't quite there yet, but it was getting there. And yeah, no, when we saw the other houses, we saw 4 houses and this one, right? We saw 5 houses total that day or something
4 or
like that.
5, yeah.
And yeah, no, just when we were here, we're like, yeah, it's perfect area. It's it was the school district we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Price was good. And we're just like, yeah, let's just do it. Because my thought was, let's throw in an offer. Worst they're going to say is no.
Yeah.
And then, whatever. But I
But
felt,
we really did fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, well, the
Like,
potential. I mean, the house had needed some work, but
Yes.
the location and the
Yeah.
long term viability of the home and the location was enough to overcome that.
We'll be
Yeah.
sure to add in some before and after pictures.
Oh, yeah,
Compliments
yeah, yeah.
of Brian Cannon.
Yeah. And you guys were unique in 2020 with among all my clients because you had a home sale contingency
we did. And we
and
put
we
in
won a
there-
bidding war.
and
Well,
we
it
did.
was
Explain
like
what a
a-
home sale contingency is before we move
Why don't
forward.
you
Yeah.
explain
Go
what a
ahead.
home sale contingency is?
Okay. So home sale contingency is basically saying, so if they're putting out an offer and submitting this to the seller and saying like, yes, these are all of the terms. However, it is all contingent on them selling their house. And if the house doesn't sell, then we don't have to buy your house. So
You're essentially attaching a whole other transaction to the home sale.
yeah.
Which can be very hard for a seller to take, especially when there's multiple offers. And
if you're selling your house and you're wondering like why your agent may be not recommending an offer with a home sale contingency, that would be why.
yeah, so
Or if you're trying to buy one and you have that, that's,
in their case, we were able to get them under contract because we offered more money,
Yes.
and in the
Yeah.
end, that's really what the seller wanted. He
Yeah.
just wanted. He needed as much cash as he could get his hands on.
Yeah.
And that came from me asking lots of questions of the listing agent and figuring out what was going on.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, so we threw out a big number, and I think we inspected this property, didn't we?
Yeah.
we
We got
had an
inspection
inspection and a home sale
In the middle of
contingency.
COVID, so it's good. It's good
Yeah.
work by you guys. Let's talk about the house itself. What have you guys done to it since you moved in?
actually, I do have a question.
yeah.
So you have done a lot of work to it since you've gotten it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see it beforehand, but what was the deciding factor that said, yeah, this is what I want? What made it very decisive?
The layout.
Yeah.
The layout, how the open concept of the kitchen into the dining room, and we can see right in the living room, and that's
Yeah.
what I've wanted. There was a huge wall right here,
With like 2 doorways or 2 walkways.
You had like a
doorways.
partition wall for the dining room, right? And
Yeah.
then this was all the kitchen.
Yeah,
No one
this
can
was
see this.
solid.
You guys
no,
can't see this,
half
but-
of this was the kitchen. Over
Yeah.
there was like a
Like a little
breakfast
dinette.
nook.
There was a door there. There was a window there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see the before and after
But
pictures.
when we walked in, the first thing we're like, the wall's coming down. I visioned how I wanted this kitchen done so that we can open it up and really make it what we want it.
Yeah.
Do you think that being decisive with your decisions with each other when going into the house, so that day that you went out, is what got you into this house as soon as you did?
Yeah, I think so. I
would
mean,
say
we're people that, we'll think about something for a long time, but if we find something we like, we're just like, all right, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And we're usually always on
Hence-
the same page.
Hence the two automobiles outside.
Yeah.
The Bronco and the.
Listen,
Are they? So let me ask you about these magnificent automobiles you have outside. Are you impulse buyers, or are you a shopper and go to multiple dealerships, look around, or are you just like, hey, honey, I want to get a truck, let's go get it?
I would say a mixture of both.
I think so, because there's a lot of thinking and thought prior to actually going and
Yeah.
Like
looking.
YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay. So you do research.
So we
This
do a
isn't
lot
just
of
like a-
research.
but we don't say like basically how it goes is it's a Saturday and we're like, let's go to the dealership and
Yeah.
take a look.
I know you and I
but
think
we've
the
already
same
done
way.
the research.
Yeah, I need like a 6 month due diligence.
No.
Diligence of my cars. My car. I looked up like all the stuff, and then I ended up going to the dealership thinking I wanted one thing, and I ended up buying another.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like how I bought my car. I mean, it seemed impulsive, and it was I'm going to go see that car today. But I had, and people thought that it was impulsive. I was like, I have been doing my research on Jeeps
Yeah.
for 5 years. Like, I would go
Yeah.
and test drive them. I kind of vetted out every style of them.
Yeah.
Had really that just which kind that I would want. Made sure it was in the right timing. But that was all the stuff on back end that I didn't really tell anybody. And then all of a sudden it was, I texted my roommate at the time, and I was like, hey, by the way, when I come home tonight, I'm not coming home with my Honda. There will be a Jeep.
Yeah.
And she was like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, surprise, I got a car today. So it seems impulsive. And that's we had my home anniversary episode where it was seemed impulsive, but that was actually more impulsive than my car purchase. But, it's you do all that back end work, and people think that they're being impulsive by just saying let's just throw an offer out today on day one. But it's I don't even think people who have done that back work consider it back work. All those looking into Zillows and all of the conversations that happen, they don't factor that into their process.
Yeah.
They think that the process starts,
When you start
when the
looking.
first day
That
you go
day,
out,
yeah,
and
and
that's day
it's-
one, when really all that back end work and research and thought process is really a whole part of the whole grand picture. So day one, if
Yeah.
you find it, then go for it.
Right.
Right.
You'll have FOMO.
And I think the other thing too is we mentally prepared for all the things we've done and sort of push things off as far as we possibly can until we're like, all right, fine. We've either saved up enough money, we're in the right spot, whatever. This truck purchase that we just bought has been in the works for quite a while. And it's
By
just
the way, Sam just bought this banging truck,
beautiful. Yeah.
truck.
But yeah, no, we've wanted a truck for the longest time because we do a lot of home renovations, whether it's ourselves or someone else. But
You're handy as fuck, man.
yeah,
He is. Yeah.
Well, then you
camping.
just sold off all your equipment.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just like that candle thing I showed you earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a comparison for people with just regular brains, that are, neurotypical versus ADHD, and neurotypical is like a candle. It's got a lot of length to it. It burns very equally throughout.
And
it's
that's symbolic to interests that you have and hobbies.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
and
burns
it's
slowly, you
a
enjoy
long
it.
time. You have it,
Yeah.
and then it's
There's a
sparkler.
Yeah.
And it's all right, I'm
All
done.
Done.
I'm burnt
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
My cupeth overfloweth. It's good. So, okay. So what have you guys done to this house? So you, just for context, you guys live in a 2,100 square foot,
Yeah.
4 bedroom,
Three.
3 bedroom, 2.5 bath
Mhm.
palace.
Yes.
And so you redid this kitchen.
Yep,
Last
we
year.
did the whole kitchen last year. We've redone our laundry room, we've redone the half bath, and currently they're just finishing up the back.
The
Covered deck.
killer
Covered deck.
screened-in porch on the back.
Yeah.
And I told you got to screen it. Were you guys always going to screen it? Because
Yeah,
because
he
we're
is-
backed up
yeah.
to all those trees.
yeah,
You
it's
can't
like Mosquito
control
Coast
them.
over there.
Oh, yeah.
The screened-in porches are. People will buy homes just for them.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Was it just an open deck before?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they face west, so that thing was probably like a griddle plate.
Hooking.
Griddle plate.
Yeah.
And I think
We
I
live on
said
the
that
equator.
when we bought it.
It was hot that day.
I
Yeah.
think when we bought it, I said, guys, just keep in mind, you're probably gonna put an awning on this house this house
Yeah.
or something, because it's
Yeah.
just gonna
Even
cook.
just the trim on the window outside was just warping because
Yeah.
it was so
Yeah.
hot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that when you put these like composite decks, I don't remember what you guys had, but
It was like an old composite.
people put these composite decks, and there's the density makes them more durable, but the density also makes them hold heat.
Yeah.
And there are times when like you can't even walk on them,
I have
especially with
one
like
and it
little
gets
kids.
Hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even like pressure treated wood can get really hot if it's all if it's sitting out. So that's one of the reasons people get awnings. Is not just for the shade; it's just to keep it cool, because otherwise you can't sit out there when like you're supposed to be sitting out there, which is in the summer.
Right.
So so you guys had a good experience. What would any advice for somebody who's thinking about doing a major home renovation? What are the lessons you guys have learned?
And how was it? Was it a raging pain in the ass, or living through a construction zone?
It's never fun living
No,
through
yeah.
construction, but
It's worth it in the
have
end.
it is worth it, and you have to be mentally prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, I like things very clean, and there's going to be dust. There's going to be dirt.
Yeah.
There's
How did
gonna
Jack
be
handle
mud.
it?
Oh, he loved it.
Yeah.
He loved it. He loves working on things. Yeah, he thinks it's great.
Yeah. I think the other thing too is, if you are going to do a home, like especially for the kitchen, renovation, where you're not going to have a working, sink or dishwasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plan that stuff out
Yeah.
because we
The tub
did,
works great. for
Yeah, we did
dishes.
the tub. Just took it upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our neighbor has
We
like a
Give
Give it to
temporary
Jack while
sink.
he's taking a bath, and just be like, "Here, sweetie, wash the dishes."
Yeah.
Training them for future.
But yeah, like not utilizing all your hard dishes, use a lot of paper stuff. Sort of plan out dinners ahead of time.
Yeah.
you
Grill.
know? Yeah,
Plan it
grill.
during the summer and grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys just have a refrigerator in the garage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Then they moved this one in our living room.
Okay,
which
there you
is
go.
fine.
So you just make it work. I had a different experience where I didn't live in the house. We bought a house and we renovated before we moved in. But I went through when I was younger. Kitchen. I mean, I had never ate more tuna melts in my entire life. We lived out of a toaster oven and like a little mini fridge.
Yeah.
Yep.
And and just paper plates, and you just make do.
Yeah, we had in the garage. We had a table set up with the microwave
Yeah.
and the toaster.
Yeah.
And I went out there and
How long did the project take?
5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's so important, guys, to hire contractors who are efficient, because especially for kitchens
contractors,
and bathrooms.
Well, I think that's probably one of the things people don't think about too much is the planning piece of it, as far as like eating and functioning and like things that are so small as doing dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is that kitchens and bathrooms also have so much detail work. And because you have faucets and you got backsplashes and tile and all that stuff, and so there's a lot more to be done. So the efficiency piece of your contractor is super important, because this kitchen, I know there's contractors out there, this would be 10-11 weeks.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
They're not efficient when they're ordering, they're not efficient with how they deploy their people, and also they're just slower.
Yeah.
How did you find your contractors?
That's a great question.
Oh yeah, we know this great guy.
Yeah. Seth Lejeune.
Called up our realtor.
Yeah,
Ask
Called
Seth
your
anything.
realtor.
We called our realtor.
that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think the other important piece, not to take away from your head exploding here, is that we did a lot of like research on stuff ourselves first. So like we ordered our cabinets because they were like, oh yeah, it's going to take like 6 weeks or so. And we're like, yeah, let's just order them. It was on a crazy sale at Lowe's. And we looked at 2 other places for cabinets, and
That
it's
we did
crazy
shop around.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The quartz we sourced from neighbors of ours who did crazy research on it, found a great place. So like we already had a lot of those moving parts ordered.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
when we
I think
called
that was key.
John, it was just like, all right, yeah, like we have this coming in this time. We have this already picked out.
You
whatever.
are his favorite clients.
Right? So that was the other thing. He was just like, great. This is what I can do. I can do it this time. And he had everything. Everything fell into place.
Everything
He
lined
even
up.
told me. He's just
Yeah.
normally there's delays on stuff, and like we're not going to be able to finish this part until that part gets done.
That's like
Yeah.
the equivalent of like a buyer going to the lender that we had recommended to and doing everything that they spell out for them in a timely fashion and just getting on top of things so that things move along so smoothly.
Yeah.
So you were your contractor's favorite clients.
Yes.
You got all your
100%.
prep work done and got all the stuff ordered. So you just basically had to like I say plug and place, like it's that easy.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's settlement. I tell all my clients, and I'm pretty sure I told you, I said, this doesn't mean the end of a relationship. it just phases into something else.
Clearly,
Yeah.
we're sitting in your
You-
kitchen like,
Right.
hey, we got a podcast audio.
Yeah, 3 years later, you guys have called me for all kinds of things. The inspector came back, helped you fix some certain thing, So, I mean, part of what we do is, and I think most realtors should do this, is to just kind of bring you into the tent.
Yeah.
And I don't want my clients going and Googling an Angie's listing like for clients, because you don't know who you're going to get.
Right.
And you can just learn from all my clients. Same way my clients who just settled down the street, I went to you because you had just redone your kitchen.
Yeah.
And your contractor then went over to theirs, and they're super fans of John as well.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for my clients to go and try to, like, listen, you have a favorite contractor, you have somebody you really want to use, that's fine, who's got a good reputation. But I think a lot of realtors like, okay, call me in 3 to 5 years when you buy and sell your next house. And
Right.
I don't believe that that's the way it should be doing, should be done. I want to always be able to take care of you guys. And
And it's like,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
thing that people don't realize, like, and we harp on this a lot, because it's like, we did the hard work. We already vetted these people out.
yeah, they're
And
already
it's like,
vetted.
we don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
other than just peace of mind. I mean,
Yeah.
like, shoot, 3 years ago, I passed out at a settlement and Seth was like, here's Brian's number.
Yeah.
And bada bing.
Yeah.
Saved my ass. And
It's funny you should mention that, because I never get anything out of it. But I took I took 2 clients out, the referrers and the referees, and I had never asked any 4 of those 2 couples, and I was like, how did you find, like, how did I come up in conversation? And Colin needed a bathroom remodeled, and I sent him a contractor.
Okay.
And Kevin was across the office, and they were just talking, and it was like, what are you doing at your house? He's like, oh, well, he's like, I'm redoing my bathroom. My realtor always said just to call him or whatever. And he's like, yeah, he's like, Aaron and I are thinking about buying a house soon or whatever. And then that's how it actually, it was because I made a contractor referral.
Yeah.
So it's, that's not my intention when I do it, but I thought it was funny that's actually how it happened.
Yeah.
And I gave
Yeah.
and Colin and Kendall were the same way. I was just like, listen, and they're pharmaceutical people. They have no idea. They're the softest hands in the world. They have no handy experience whatsoever. And I'm like, guys, don't, like, just call me if you need anything. And they're like, please, like, because God, like, we have no idea what we're doing. They're both from Michigan. They don't know anybody. They got transferred to Merck Pharmaceuticals. So that's good. What is something, if you were going to go back and do it all over again, is there anything you would do differently about your home purchase, home experience,
home
home selling, anything? Or what's something you would tell an aspiring person who maybe is sitting in a condo and that's too small? What would be the thing you would tell them?
I don't know.
Not to put you on the spot.
No, yeah. It's,
Well, get out of your condo.
Yeah.
Get a house.
condos can be good, but not all the time.
Yeah.
But-
I would say have patience.
Okay.
Patience is key, and really have trust in your realtor.
Yeah.
I mean, you really need to have trust in them and tell them everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've since developed like a questionnaire and everything. Like I have a few forms that and I have everyone filled out. It's like 5 pages, 6 pages
I
now.
think it just graduated to 7.
She just graduated to 7,
I did
so
not graduate.
and so it's basically
Graduated
just
to
kind
7.
of pulls all the questions out
Yeah.
instead of us having to go through these like kind of meandering interviews. Like we're just like we slide it across and we have the couple fill it out together, because then it forces them to kind of confront and decide
talk
what's
about
truly
certain
important.
things, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I think viewing the realtor as the quarterback in the situation, because you really are. You're the one orchestrating everything. And yeah, like Sam said, to put the trust in you and be like, this is on your shoulders now. I want to get out of this house. I want to buy another house. I'm going to try not to worry about the sale of my own house. She wasn't worried at all. I was very concerned, obviously, after having so many water
I
issues.
remember
Why were you
the
like,
cross.
what was your biggest like?
I didn't think it was going to sell.
Yeah, well, you had
It sold in 2 days, guys.
But no. But you had money. No, I was the same way. You had money in the street, and you need the money to come back.
Yeah.
And I remember selling that condo, and she was cool as a cucumber, and you were just like, did they like it? They like it? I was like, Jesus Christ, they left 15 minutes ago. I will get that feedback. I will get the feedback. And we got a lot of showings on that though, even for a condo.
so many we stopped the showings.
Did
We
we?
had to stop
Yeah.
by like
Yes.
Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
It was on a
I mean,
Tuesday.
they
we
were
started
getting
them.
practically a new home or new condo.
Yeah, and
We
your
did
condo was really nice though.
everything.
Your condo
We
was
did
really
rebuild
nice.
everything.
And when you go to sell your home, get a trailer pack everything up and drop it off at your parents' house. in the
Yeah,
garage
if you can.
and make it look like you have so much
No one lives
room in
there.
there.
That's
and
absolutely
they're
right.
like, wow,
That's
look at
absolutely
all
right.
this space.
That's funny. We just
You're
did
welcome.
an episode on staging and minimalizing and downsizing and like moving things somewhere else. So it's funny
Oh,
you
yeah.
said
I mean,
that.
we don't have to take all like the personal pictures out, but don't have your walls flooded with pictures.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Yeah.
Always.
See,
Yeah.
it's not just us. Verified by clients. What?
You keep slapping at me.
I know.
You yelled at
That's
me
intentional.
earlier.
It's emphasis.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, that's fine. I'm trying to keep my hand as quiet as possible over here.
I
It's
can
also
tell-
your foot. You're doing
I
a
can
kick.
tell.
You're making the friggin'
You,
island.
you,
a kick
you
drum.
have the softest touch on that counter now.
Thank you.
That's great. All right, so we're going to do a speed round.
Okay.
Okay, questions. You guys need to answer together. Movies or music?
Movies.
Music.
Camping or traveling?
Camping.
Camping, probably. I don't like traveling too far.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Or
Yeah, girl.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I'm just
Yeah,
scared.
I don't-
Taylor Swift or Beyonce?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Baseball or football?
Baseball.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yep.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Favorite actor?
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, she just loves him. I don't have one. I don't have a favorite actor. Oh, you know what? Will Ferrell. Yeah. Will
Okay.
Ferrell is my favorite.
Favorite musician? Musical act? Group?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything.
He really is. He jumps
Yeah.
around. I don't know.
Depends on the mood.
What's your bucket list vacation / trip? You get money's no object. You have all the flexibility in the world. You can go anywhere for as long as you want. What is it? But you have to come home. Can't like move. Like what would be the dream trip?
I mean, this one doesn't even like traveling apparently.
don't.
So.
Yeah. We're very simple. I would say
Like a road trip around.
Valley Forge National Park?
No, like,
Wow.
like go down south somewhere, just do a big food road trip.
Okay.
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
would
we
like to
always
do.
talked about that. Yeah, hitting Outer Banks, going down to
Simple.
Florida, coming
great.
back.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, we had a bunch of questions. We didn't ask any of these. So
No, very few of them.
sorry. That's what's behind me.
So, well, thank you for sitting with us. I know you have to run and get the little guy,
Yeah.
and I
Thank
appreciate
you
your
for
time.
having us.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Thank you.
thanks for opening your home to us.
Of course,
Absolutely.
anytime. Come
Yeah.
back. We got
Cue
the
those
keg right
before
over
and
there.
after
That's
pictures.
right.
Yes. All
See you
right.
guys.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.